You know what I mean? The Indiana Pacers were the underdogs in every damn series. From the first round, second round, third round, and even the NBA Finals. And this team is here with a game 7 with a chance to get the championship. I got OKC winning. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. We're going to see. It's going to be that slow team. Moving on. I don't usually dive into all this, right? WNBA action. Okay? Now, my wife, she's a huge Angel Reese fan. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. No knock on Angel Reese. Angel Reese is a hell of a basketball player. I was just having a conversation with her the other day. I was telling her, hey, babe, Caitlin Clark, you know what I'm saying, what she doing right now, I don't know if it's ever been a more powerful woman in the sport of basketball than Caitlin Clark. I ain't saying she's the greatest basketball player of all time. Matter of fact, I mean, she only in her second year, so we don't know what she's going to accomplish. We know she's going to end up there with the all-time race once it's all said and done. But I'm talking about what is happening right now. I didn't even know this, okay? I didn't know this. I got too much to worry about with the NBA side. I'm just figuring all this shit out. I didn't even know that when Caitlin Clark and the Fever go on the road, that they play in NBA arenas. Yeah, they play in the NBA arenas because she's putting butts in seats, filling out arenas. So she's filling out 30,000 plus everywhere she goes. That's powerful. That's moving the needle. I was reading something else about the ratings and how much it dropped while she was injured. I was like, damn, 50%? 50%?
Let's go already.
Look, again, I ain't saying she's the greatest of all time. I would never disrespect the sport. She got a long way to go because it's only her second year. And I'm damn so comfortable with saying she's the most powerful. You know? Been doing an excellent job. I can't wait till he do the play-by-play next year. But I heard you the other day, lost your damn mind. He came back. He went on this, I guess, his Dwayne Wade network, and he said, if Paul Gasol, people were thinking, he was thinking that Paul Gasol was about to win Finals MVP in 2010. You know who was playing in that series in 2010? Yours truly. Right, I got hurt in game 6, we went to game 7, we ended up losing. And ain't no way in hell Paul Gasol was getting no Finals MVP over Kobe. Kobe had one bad game. He had one bad game. He shot 6 for 24 in game 7. I get all that. But here's the thing. I think Kobe had 15, 16 rebounds. So you got to understand the moment. In that series, whoever won the rebounding battle won the game. Kobe Bryant did that. So in the crucial game 7, when your shot is not falling, you expect greatness. So for him to go out there and have 15, 16 rebounds, and you're on the floor with Paul Gasol, Andrew Bynum, Rasheed Wallace, Kevin Garnett, Big Baby, you getting in the trenches at 6'6", going to get 16 boards in the game 7. Hey, man, listen, D-Wade, I love you, brother. You're doing a hell of a job, but that was just some straight foolishness you was talking about. Ain't nowhere in hell that was going to Paul Gasol. By the way, if I didn't get hurt, we wouldn't have lost that series. Because, I mean, it's the facts. Our starting 5 never lost the series when we all were healthy. It's just a fact. Go pull it up. I'm not here to toot my own horn, but I'm just keeping it real with y'all. But we got the game 7. We got KD to the Rockets. You know what I'm saying? Caitlin Clark moving the needle. We got everything going on today. Game 7.
Want to double your brokerage account instantly? We both know this is bull.
and Skip. Are you? The viewership go spike today because everybody and their mama gonna be watching this damn game. And if you're not watching this damn game, gonna feel sorry for your loss.
Ron recently said ring culture has hurt the game. It's basically that judging greatness only by championships disrespect legends like Iverson and Barkley. Do you agree with that?
I definitely agree with him. I think that, our narrative and our stories have been in the hands of, media or reporters, and it's like their opinion, right? And not to disrespect, them in the game because they play a big part of the game, but the stories should be told from the players themselves, right? The perspective of who they are and what we mean. And so when you think about ring culture, it's becoming, something that's kind of like corporatizing or selling the conversation about really what this game is about. It's, you as a kid play basketball to fit in on a team, right? And develop a game and a style that ultimately evolves into, Draymond Green, Hall of Fame, right? So your accolades is one thing, but it's more so, right, what you did, how you get there, how you overcame, right? And so as overachievers, right, people who don't necessarily understand that can paint whatever picture that they want to paint for you in your time in the league. So, for me, I think when you just talk about dudes who get rings, or you just say like, oh, these dudes who got rings are the only ones capable of running teams and things like that, then you really mess up the culture because, as you know, not everybody on the team is qualified and capable. And if they were not, some of them, if they were not on that team, right, they are replaceable. And then it limits the capacity for new rings and new people, right? We have so many great basketball players, great basketball minds in this game that they get underserved, right? Underappreciated. Their stories are undertold. Their highlights are, undersubscribed to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like that ring culture, it's kind of like a disease because depending on who you are, you can just jump out there and use your decorations and your merit, as something for media or fans to be like, oh, this dude is, not saying you're not an expert because we all experts, but like, you can paint whatever narrative you want. And that's what I don't like.
Well, I think ring culture took a big turn and came into play, in large part due to the success of the Golden State Warriors.
I agree.
What I would say about what Brian said is this. I think ultimately what Brian was saying is, what I took away from it is you get guys like Stephen A. Here's what I took away from it verbatim. To me, it felt like Stephen A. is someone who talks a lot about rings. And you don't know what it takes to win a ring because you've never won a ring and you've never gone through it. And you don't understand it because you've never gone through it that sometimes when you get an opportunity to win and you don't kick that door down, it can change everything. And because you don't know how hard it is because you've never gone through it, then you start using it to lessen the greatness of the greats. And is having a ring important? Of course. Like, does it add to legacy? Does it stamp legacies? Absolutely. Not going to sit here and act like having rings or a ring don't matter. It does matter. But it doesn't make Barkley less great as he was. It doesn't make Allen Iverson less great than what they were. And I think when people use it, they use it to kind of dim the greatness, dim the light on guys. And that's what I felt like Brown was getting. Like verbatim, I think, Stephen A. and him, they having their thing. And to me, as soon as I heard it, I watched it, I was like, that's what I came away with. It felt like he's talking directly to Stephen A. and those type of guys. And if you've never done it, you don't know how hard it is. So in turn,
you don't know how hard it is to try and get there. There are more great players.
Send professional invoices and get paid faster, all with the QuickBooks mobile app. Easily create and send invoices. Know when they've been viewed and get notified when you're paid. Anytime, anywhere, right from the QuickBooks mobile app.
Beyond cash advance. I mean, great players that won rings.
Yes, 1,000%.
Right? So there are more great players who haven't won rings than the great players that have won rings. Mm-hmm. And like, that's the way we gotta look at it, is like, that's what, like, I was looking at Magic, right? You know, I was on a little history of the game site, and I was going through Magic, and I was like, man, Magic had 5. That means in an entire decade, right, there were only 5 other winners. But Bird had, 3? So that leaves 2 for damn near your career, right? You got a shot at being a champion in 2 of the 10 years, every 10 years you play.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact, though. That's a fact. Like CP and James Harden, if they don't run the chance, they probably do win the championship.
Or at least have a chance.
And so, sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles.
I doubt you'll be so smug as to realize what you're up against.
Them guys aren't
what
great.
stands before
and
you
that
now
don't mean
is the thing you fear
Chris
most.
Paul now.
I am a
Chris
super
Paul is a
fan.
winner. He just
There won't
couldn't
be a
quite. There's
shred
so
of you
many
left
things
when
that have
Kakarot
to go
wakes
right
up.
for you to win the champ. It's not just like, oh, I played good and we. It's not like objective. Like, it's not an objective. It's very subjective. There's so many things that have to fall into place for it to happen. And so to just lessen someone's greatness because of it, I think that's wrong. I'm not saying, again, that having the rings don't matter. It fucking matters. When I walk in a room, I feel
it's a different,
it's a different force. It's a difference. But that does not lessen someone else's greatness, because all of those things didn't fall in place for them to get the ring. And that's what I took away from it. That's what I felt like, Browns.
I hate when they talk about dudes as they get older, right? And as you get older, I didn't get that chance to experience that, but I think as I got older in my career, I wouldn't want to play for championship teams, right? Mm-hmm. But I think also, like, a big thing about the media is that we need to be celebrating these dudes on their way out.
Yep.
Talking about who they were in their peak. Showing the storyline, because obviously, Chris Paul today is definitely not the Chris Paul that I played against, right? And that was like, golly, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you want to watch, you tap it all the way in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We got to understand, like, and I would say this happened in the past a lot. We got to appreciate the evolution. And it's like a fine wine.
Yeah.
It's like classic hip hop, right? Like, these dudes came into the game as renegade painters, painted their style, and then on their exit, they became more of a, more like capsulizing their masterpiece in different forms.
That's fun.
Right, and more so like what they leave into the game. So I just don't like that, because that should be pissing me off. Because you can talk about, even Oscar Robinson said,
Draymond Green just passed the ball to Steph Curry. Like, what pissed me off about that is, like, bro, like, you gotta watch the body of work, homie. You have to watch the body of work, right?
Yep.
Like, shut the fuck up, right? Or and you don't just look at towards the end of somebody's career and say, oh, that is like the way we see them. No, we gotta paint the picture of like this is what they evolved into. This is the artist they evolved into. This is the statue. This is why D-Wade get a statue, right? Like we gotta like start speaking more, in people's like in present day, and not just making like bold and wild ass statements without doing no research. Because then, I feel your sentiment now. Right? I feel your sentiment now because we gotta start highlighting the greatness. That's all. Because the media don't say what the fuck they don't want to say about Draymond, or Draymond is this, or Chris Paul is that, or LeBron is this, or like we gotta do a KD is this. We gotta do a better job of like speaking on their greatness.
That's a fact. Well, one thing is for certain, just because you were a great basketball player don't make you smart, and it don't make you a basketball. So, those two things can be mutually exclusive. In that case, it was very mutually exclusive. That's my little single shot. That's my little single shot right there. Just because you were a great basketball player. I see this all the time. I see people say stuff and I'll be like, somebody gonna listen to that because they're like, oh, that person is a great basketball player. There you go. Listen, a lot of them be dumb too. And that was just a dumb statement in the show colors, and I'll leave that at that, So,
and then to bring it full circle, people's names are the same. It's in the same category. So you gotta just respect great basketball minds. And big news, Desmond.
Wait, talk about these. I want to mention too, but I got something for you. I want to go there. Yeah. So, to your point on as you age in this, and it's like this in sports. Let me tell you what else is prevalent like this. People don't allow athletes to age and appreciate, to your point, appreciate what they do. They try to make where they are doing all of what they've done. You know where else that happened at, and I hate it, and I think it actually ruins the industry in a major way because you're not allowed, the industry essentially ends up always starting over because you don't allow the greats to age and like appreciate just the age and process of it. We're always take it back to where it was. You know the other industry that's like music, rap, all of that. There's no OG game in the rap game because we took all the OGs out. But it's the same thing that's happened in basketball. As media has grown more prevalent in basketball and has gotten bigger and bigger, it's the same exact thing that happens in basketball and in sports in general. But really in basketball in itself.
You're gonna pay for this! The Saiyans are a true warrior race! Don't underestimate them! Damn you!
So sorry to dash all your hopes and dreams, Vegeta. But for all your efforts, you never even came close to being on my level. Toy
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe.
More than anything else in the universe.
Ocho, we just breaking news. Dana White announces John Jones has retired from the UFC on a phone call last night. Ocho, let's take a listen to what Dana had to say.
John Jones called us last night and retired.
Vegeta,
John Jones is officially retired.
I
Tom
don't
Aspinall
enjoy
is the heavyweight
jokes.
champion of the
Never
UFC.
been very funny.
Really that simple. He said John Jones called him last night and said he was officially retired. He says, okay, John Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is now the new heavyweight champion of the UFC.
Damn.
I think John's what, 37, 38? He was the youngest UFC heavyweight champion at 21.
Where we were born.
He's 37. In my book, he's the greatest UFC fighter in history. I know GSP, George St. Pierre, was phenomenal.
Yes.
Anderson Silva was phenomenal. Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But and the totality of it and the guys in which he beat.
Yeah. Hey, I don't think anybody will argue that. I don't think anybody that is a fan of combat sports or just a casual fan in general will argue that John Jones is the greatest UFC fighter of all time. There's no way you can argue about it. He had a great career, a great career. I'm sad to see him go. There's somebody that was talking trash. I can't think of their name. And the video from a year ago just came about.
That was Aspinall.
That said, I'm gonna get John Jones retired without him fighting.
Right, that was Aspinall. He said that on Hawani.
You know what's funny is I think at some point, knowing John Jones, knowing the competitor that he is, I think he's gonna come back for one more fight. I think he's gonna come back for one more fight just to put that young individual that thinks he really wants that smoke.
Yeah.
To give him exactly what he wants. I can feel it. Because every time a fighter says he's retiring, what's the one thing they come back and do?
Fight.
With the money gonna be right. I guarantee you. Watch. Book it.
Yeah, I mean, Bones, man, he has no weakness. He can wrestle, he can strike, he can submit you. He was good on his feet. He was good on the ground. I mean, he's phenomenal. The matches that he had with Cormier, Gustafsson, I mean, hey. And I understand UFC. I know George St. Pierre, and I know Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson, and I know Anderson Silva. They had great runs. Nothing like this.
No.
Nothing like this.
No. And listen, longevity. His longevity is that of LeBron James. I'm not comparing you understand for combat sports in an octagon. That's the longevity and being successful at it. And being
in the fight game, they don't have no long runs like this. In the fight game, anything can happen.
He had a 20-win fight streak now. A 20-win fight streak. You know how difficult that is in combat sports? MMA, for that matter.
I mean, think about it. I ranked with Cyril Gahn in the heavyweight division. Made mincemeat of Stipe. Now, I know Stipe was a little older. Him and Daniel Cormier had tremendous fights.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah, that's great. Hey, this might be, you know who's going to get that work, huh?
Nah, you don't want that kind of work, don't you?
I ain't there. I'm not listening. I'm talking.
Yeah, that cage different than that square.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm talking about, but well, I ain't heard from James Harrison in a minute. You doing all right? You talk to him?
Yeah, you doing fine.
Okay, I'm just making sure you're good, man. I hope you're working. I've been working.
Jim said, Jim's,
This is the end for you.
Yeah, he got that $100 million. Yeah, I mean, look at Hogan. Oh, you don't see Hogan in the booth all the time. It's got to mean something to it. You get that kind of money, I would like to think you try to get to a certain level.
Right.
And now it's got to really move. I mean, Hogan ain't just getting in he got to start with music.
Right.
But Hogan for so many other things other than music.
Business. He's a businessman.
He's a businessman.
Yes.
So Nas, the investments, you read about the investments that Nas has made, and like the desire to get in there and probably get into the studio, it probably doesn't excite him like it once did. And that's okay.
Right. And the funny thing about it is Jay-Z is one of those individuals, despite today's hip-hop, and the sound of it, I think he could still come out and be successful. I think the one thing that's important, because he's so good lyrically and he's a lyricist, the one thing that has to be very, very important, just hypothetically speaking, if Jay-Z was to make an album now, is the beat. The beats. Yeah. The beats have to be captivated for today's sound.
Me personally, I think now he don't really have the desire to do a full album. He would prefer to jump on somebody else's. Like when DJ Khaled got him, Wayne, and Ross. Yeah, I think he's more apt to do something like that as opposed to his own project. Right. Maybe if Weezy say, "Hey, bro, I need you on this track," something like that. But for him to take the time to get into the studio all on his own, right? I don't see that in him. And you know, like it's like Conor McGregor. Mm-hmm. Once he had that fight, think about it. Once he had that fight with Floyd Mayweather, he got $100 million. All of a sudden, you know, getting kicked in the face and getting elbowed in the head didn't seem appealing. Mm-hmm. And he ain't really fought much, and he didn't win a whole lot since.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing about it is, his business is outside the octagon.
Yes.
Well, he doesn't even need to come back and fight. He still trains his ass off as if he's ready to fight. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but hey, he's one of the greatest fighters of all time, in being able to transition and going from the octagon to business into millions.
That's why I take my hat off to Floyd Mayweather, because even though he was making $20 and $30 million a fight, he still trained like he was broke. And that's I say that about Floyd, and I say that, but I say that about any athlete. You look at LeBron, you look at Brady, you look at Manning, you look at these guys, Jordan, Kobe, guys that's making millions. I mean, you see the work now, and you see the way they still go about it, and they play and they train as if they were playing as broke. Yeah. Be it Ronaldo or Messi or Mbappe or Haaland. I mean, we talk about LeBron. I mean, but you look at Mahomes, look at Lamar Jackson, look at these guys that's making millions, and they still like, bro. They train and they play as if they're broke, like they're trying to get in. And this is the UFC. That's a very unforgiving sport, because you don't see guys, hold on to belts for years and years and years, because Dana White won't let you duck anybody. You don't cherry pick. They tell you who the hell you go fight. So it's not like in that division, like, I'm gonna fight the number 10 contender. I'm gonna fight the number 8. Now Dana said you're gonna fight the number 1 contender. You're gonna fight the number 2 contender. That's why people, I think, really love the UFC, is because ain't no ducking and dodging. It ain't no selection. You ain't picking I can beat him. But yeah, Dana, that his board, they know. Nah, bro, you gonna get in here. And I give John credit. I mean, people gonna say, well, he retired because he didn't fight Aspinall. But I know for about almost 2 decades, he fought everybody they put in front of him. Everybody they put in front of him, from Gustafsson, to Cormier, to Sugar, all of them. It didn't matter.
Hey, one thing about it is, I've always heard the gripes. I've always heard the rumblings about the pay in UFC not being that great, and not being what it should be for what these guys are doing, and putting their bodies and lives on the line every time they step out the line. But I'm telling you, mark my words, Jim Jones John Jones will come back and fight again against, what's his name again?
John Bone Jones?
Yo, I know that, but what's the guy that said he was going to retire?
Tom Aspinall.
Brother Aspinall's going to get that fight he's looking for, and Dana White's going to make it a payday. He's going to make it a payday for John Jones to come out of retirement, so that fight can happen. It's going to be a mega fight.
You think so?
Absolutely. One last hurrah. One last hurrah.
Yeah, I mean, who would we say? I mean, the guy's done everything. I mean, what more? I mean, a 2-division champ, light heavy and heavyweight. He dominated that division. I mean, people can say, well, Reyes beat him, or this guy or that guy. And look, all I know is that he lost the fight, but he was disqualified because I think he elbowed somebody when they was down, and he did something. But as far as, like, they beat him. on the scorecards or something like that without the DQ. That's never happened.
Right.
He's special, like I said, the most complete fighter because he has no weakness. He can do it all. He can wrestle you. He can strike you on his feet. He can submit you. He was great on the ground. He was an all-around fighter. Had great defense, and when he needed to dig deep, he could dig deep. He could dig. He could absolutely dig deep. And there's a reason why Dana, when they say, "Well, who's the greatest fighter in UFC?" There's no hesitation.
Yeah,
John Jones, most complete fighter, John Jones, and GSP, special. You know, Usman had a great run. GSP, like I said, Anderson Silva. There have been some guys that had 10, 13 match win streaks.
Right.
I like John. John, he's phenomenal.
That 25 win streak is gonna stand for a while. It's gonna stand for a while.
Yeah. Special fighter, but breaking news, Dana White announces that John Jones phoned him last night and said he was officially retired from the UFC. And in that motion, Dana White did the only thing that he could do. Declared Tom Aspinall UFC heavyweight champion. So, and like I said, John had probably only fought, 2 times in the last 3 years? I mean, he beat Cyril Gahn and he beat Stipe. But those fights was probably a year, 380, 400 days apart. So he hadn't fought a whole lot the last 3 to 4 years. But that just goes to show you just how great he is. Think about it, Ocho. The amount of time that he took off. And he ran through Cyril Gahn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did.
And then he did a spinning back kick to the liver of Stipe. And got him out of there.
Yeah.
And many believe Stipe is the greatest heavyweight champion ever. And he missed me, though. Legend. Yeah, we can also say he went out on top.
Hey, he did. And he's going to do what every other fighter has done. I'm telling you. I'm retiring. Look it down the line. I'm coming back.
Now hold on. Do you actually believe this perfect form of yours could make the slightest bit of difference against me? I know it would. I would have... All right, then. I'll allow myself to be goaded into your trap. Go on, obtain your so-called perfect form. Father, no! Stand aside, boy!
6 hours in, check it out. All right, we just take out those 5 batteries real quick and we can all go home and get a nice hot cup of tea. Oh, do you guys see all those? Oh my God, how are we going to take care of that? All right, we definitely need a towel. Ooh, that helps a lot. Oh wait, we got a big boy over there. Are we strong enough? No, we're going to need another tower. Let's spend another 10.5 tower. All right, come on, we got to be strong. He's so close. Oh my God. We took care of him. This was his cleanup. Although we got a couple more bad guys down there. We need more towers. Oh my gosh. A headshot, enemies are invading from every direction. You have to build your defense, upgrade towers, and keep your kingdom safe. No ads or pop-ups that I know you ready 30 seconds. Just pure fun and strategy without any break. Want to see how you can win as a king? Download and try it now.
Back off! That's it! Let me show you! Too slow! This is it! Burning attack! That's it! Take this! Take this! This power. This is fun for me. Don't even bother. Going down. Take this. You're going down. Take this. Let me show you. Too slow. Super Vegeta! Taste the power. We're so close. A few more moments, and I would have achieved my perfect form. Now hold on. Do you actually believe this perfect form of yours can make the slightest bit of difference against me? I know it would. I would have the ultimate power. You wouldn't even stand a chance against me. All right, then. I'll allow myself to be goaded into your trap. Go on, obtain your so-called perfect form. Father, no! Stand aside, boy! Super Vegeta, let me show you. Let me show you. Take this! Hey! You've been spotted! Run for it now!
You're making a mistake, Father. We can't let Cell reach his perfect form. I've already seen one future ruined. I'm not gonna stand here and watch it happen again. I'm putting an end to this, even if that means I have to go through you.
Is that so? Who are you trying to fool? You're too soft-hearted to attack your own father. So, he actually did it. Cell really is transforming. Now we'll see if this perfect form of his is everything he made it out to be. So this is what you wanted to achieve so desperately? Perfectly ordinary is more like it. Did swatting that little pest make you feel all big and strong? I hope so, because that was the last taste of victory you're ever going to enjoy.
I suppose we'll see about that. But for now, I wonder if you would be so good as to assist me in warming up.
Sure. Just know I'll be turning up the heat rather quickly.
I'm terrified.
I'm not done! That's it!
Let me show you. Too slow.
Did you like it?
Take this! Take this!
Forget it.
Let me show you. Too slow. Let me show you. Too slow.
Impossible! How could I let this?
Jimmy Buss has sold the Lakers for $10 billion. Bill King LeBron wins his next title in front of fans 10 years later to win his 10th playoff series as a member of the Lakers. The Buss family still keeps a minority share of the team, just over 15%. 15 is the big Kobe number in Gematria. The Lakers going to win the title, their next title in front of fans 16 years later, which is represented by Paul Gasol's number 16. She will remain the Lakers governor and will continue to run the team for at least a number of years.
Do you see now, Kakarot?
Mark Walter, the owner of the Dodgers, is the new owner of the LA Lakers. Born in the year 1960, Joakim LeBron is going to win his 60th playoff game as a member of the Lakers to tie Michael Jordan 6-0 in the finals. Let go is Gematria of the title at New York City. I like the Lakers to beat the Knicks in 2027. And Michael Jeffrey Jordan in Scottish Rite is Gematria 60. He is born in year 60. Joakim LeBron wins his 60th playoff game as a Laker to win the back-to-back, to win the